Have you ever like seen a show or thought of anything or seen anything that goes, you're not supposed to survive that? That's literally, no, that's not how anything works. No. But it happens, and now you're just sitting there with that incomprehensible information in your head, like, what do I do now? Well, this is what Legend of Leon Flair had twice in 2 episodes. Leon Flair, that's the name of the show. What's up, guys? Evan of 47. Welcome to Little. So today we're reviewing a show, as I mentioned before, called Legend of Leon Flair, 1986 animation, old school classic. Very few views in comparison to the other shows I've reviewed on this channel, and I must say it's quite a deep dive into the whole alien invasion or alien tentacle type. When I think of Inju Alien, I think of like a really well thought out like whole alien isolation. There's a suspicious character among us. People got on the ship without knowing that someone was infiltrated with a disease, which then in turn ravaged them all, and only one survivor was left. And that's a really cool like aspect to have of the show. This one is like this one's like that, except the aliens were visible. They came to invade the planet, and the protagonist just did protagonist things. So basically we have Flair, who is the princess of this wonderful Amazoness planet called Leon. Now I said Amazoness because this seems like, from what I'm looking at here and from what the aliens do later on,
spoiler alert, the second act is tragic.
The women to men population is at least like 5 to 1. Is at least when it comes down to, you know, them getting down to it. Apparently it looks like they have like this really unblemished, this really just perfect ecosystem. Everything is set. The universe, the planet, they're one with harmony with nature. Everything's in the third. They're not even blemishing anything. The atmosphere is just perfect. It's peak human adaptation when it comes to not harming the environment, right? We got them celebrating their old marriage ceremony between the princess and the prince, Flair, and our boy here, Zeke. Really not a royal name. Not like some skater dude whatsoever, but let's just get over that because that's gonna be relevant as the show goes on. And then Neris, this red-haired dime, has like a diamond piece in her head. She's like, you know, this is gonna be a momentous occasion, but something feels off. I feel something, something's wrong here, but she can't put her finger on it. And then lo and behold, literally 10 minutes later, Glode and his alien crew, yes, that's his name, comes and just ravages the entire planet. They do it AOT style when they went to Marley, right? That's how it works. I haven't kept track of AOT. Basically, when they invaded Marley, and it was just completely unprovoked, unprepared. Everything was just blindsided. That's exactly what happened here. The Leonesses, the Leonites, are sitting there just getting destroyed. Basically, Glode's whole point of invading planets in this authoritarian regime is to assault them in every manner he can, in how many ways he possibly can, with as many men as he possibly can. It's just like to make sure that people know his name at all times. No, with a name called Glode, I'm pretty sure he has like some sort of like self-esteem issues. Like that's a terrible ass name. I mean, he's like 20 feet tall, so he does not self-esteem anymore. He just knows he is that. And to the point, right, we have like 40-foot tall mechas just running through trees. We got flames out of nowhere. Everything is going horrible. The whole planet is getting invaded. And we're finally meet Glode meeting our, you know, ragtag group of protagonists, which just has Neris, Zeke, and Flair herself, I bet. Flair. And then Flair's just sitting there just absolutely shocked with deer in the headlights because she's watching Neris just get obviously. And then when Glode's like, all right, done with her, it's your turn now. And I'm reminded, like, wait a minute. In the first minute of this episode, he literally just killed a girl for practice so he can do this fluidly. Just like, I'm bored, whatever, clean this up, guys. Got blood all over my shoes. Guy's pretty ruthless. And so when he goes on to Flair and he's about to, the whole planet starts shaking and he's like, huh, weird. Anyway, I shall proceed. He doesn't like actually say this, but he visibly like notices the planet shaking around him, but he keeps going anyway. And then when he finally starts like, you know, going at it with her, the entire planet's like, hey bro, we're not doing this. Flair glows up and has his avatar state, and the planet is one with her, and now she's like destroying the entire fleet of like thousands upon thousands of aliens that came to pillage her entire planet. And she summoned one of his ships from out of the atmosphere of the planet, brought it all the way down, and power drived it into Glode's chest through her castle, and this dude just died and the whole junk just blows up. That's just basically how the invasion just failed there. And I'm sitting here like, No, you can't. How do you end a series like that and expect me to go on to watch more of it? Like this is the climax. This is how it ends, and everyone lives happily ever after because they have to do a hard reset because literally everyone died except Nereus, Zeke, and Flare, the three main characters I was talking about here. And Glode was like, "Yeah, my mission's complete." So basically, his whole plan was to die first so he can get reincarnated and kill them again. Like, bro, you might as well just either go at it in a sense where you are just going to kill them the first time if your end goal is to rule everything and fight them again. Like, you're just wasting energy, wasting time. What if they adapt? What if more people come? What if they prepare for another invasion? You're not thinking ahead here. So this is very Demon Slayer-esque when that one chick, spoilers, died so her latent powers can kick in at the end of the battle 70 chapters later. And my thing is like, what if you never had the chance for that to ever happen? So you just died for no reason. But since this is anime, that obviously does happen because, you know, people thinking 20D chess always win, even though they can't predict that them losing everything is going to end up paying off because they won't know what will happen when they're gone. Anyway, episode 2 kicks in. They repopulate the Earth. I don't know how it happens. I assume it was Nereus, Zeke, and Flare just went at it nonstop, or I don't even know, bro. Because like when they were explaining it from the first episode at the end, the entire planet just got decimated. That was like a hard reset. So I assume they must have. Yeah. And the weirdest thing was actually funny. At the end of the first episode, right? Zeke is like, "Hey, yo, Flare, thanks for saving us." And then he starts like consummating himself. And my thing is, bro, didn't you just see she literally summoned the planet to destroy over 20,000 individual aliens and their mecha bots by themselves? She soloed the entire invasion army that you couldn't even like lift the finger against. You had trouble fighting one of their soldiers. She cleared out their entire regime. And you're over here like, let's get funky. Like, bro, don't you think you want to have a cooldown period? Don't you think you want to make sure what the limits of her powers are before she does anything crazy with you? Like, well, for example, what if you cut her and now the entire planet opens up a crater and grabs you with lava? Now you just disintegrate on planet Earth because you gave her a paper cut. Like, don't you think at all, man? Or don't, come on. This is not a good look for men. Anyway, episode 2 happens, and apparently the site where Gold died is now slowly becoming this Naraku-esque layer of just demon filth, just building up and bubbling up. And one of Nereus's siblings, named Eon, found it upon himself to go stumble upon that graveyard where Gold was at. And for some reason, he kept going further and further once he saw how slimy and disgusting, and I assume the smell was horrendous, the entire environment was. He just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper, found this wonderful, magnificent, beautiful chair. The chair I buy myself. I would buy this chair right here, put it right there in the background, and just chill in it. However, if it's in an alien lair, I wouldn't go excavating it, if you catch my drift. So Eon does. He's like a teenager, obviously dumb as hell. He grabs the chair and the chair grabs back, something that doesn't really happen that much in the real world. And we are now assume that he's dead. MIA in action. MIA. And so now Leon, planet itself, which got repopulated back to, I assume, what happened in Peak in episode 1, they're about to get cleared out again because Nereus was fighting more aliens that came to invade the planet again. And my thing is like, why are these guys getting invaded so much? This reminds me of like whenever someone's doing like wonderfully fine and some haters pull up and say, "Hey, it took you 20 years to do what The Rock did in 1, you stupid whore." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just there to ruin their day. Like Leonites, they don't fight anyone. All they do is make children recycle. That's all. That's what their lifestyle is. What would warrant you invading them multiple times? So after that, another invasion happens, and you guessed it, with the power of Eon as a catalyst, Gold is now starting to reincarnate. And of course, obviously, they kidnapped the main character of the entire show, Flare, brought her to their lair, and had her life force sucked out of her in every sense of the word. And when she was about 90% just drained, Gold had his full powers back, and he was like, you know what? I'm not done with you yet. I want you to be 100% drained before I kill you. And when he starts to do it, boom, rejected. He tries again, boom, rejected. And because he stalled so much with this rejection, non-rejection, and trying to make a statement with Flare, even though he basically the entire time, that brought Neris along. And now remind you, as I mentioned before, Aeon is Neris' sister. And since he had Aeon's incarnated body inside of him that enabled him to become his full form now, through that, then Aeon fights him back, boom, disintegrates the form. Now Aeon's back to his regular self. However, Gold's like, hey bro, listen, okay, you got me twice, but I'm still here. As long as my consciousness is still available, I still live on this planet. And so he starts going at it again. And Flare's like, all right, bro, you know what? I'm going to literally destroy this entire planet again because I hate you. I am sick of you existing. I want you wiped off of this planet for even thinking about coming back and thinking this plan would work. So she starts just going cataclysmically, just nuclear. Just starts blowing up everything, purple lights everywhere. Boom, Gold's gone. Neris and Aeon escape. We assume that Flare and Zeke just die because it just flash, poof, and the entire lake and the castle where the whole lair was at just disappears. But lo and behold, this stupid little green flying mold booger pulls out the bushes and sees Zeke and Flare coming fully drained, exhausted, saying, we did it, guys. Mission accomplished. And the story ends there. So it was definitely a watch for sure. I would definitely, you know what? I would recommend the hell out of this series, bro, because it shows realistic consequences to such massive powers. It also shows how military strength can just override and supersede any sort of raw power. For example, if you had the entirety of the globe's army versus base form Goku, who would win? Of course base form Goku would win, right? But at what cost? The entire planet would be wrecked, would be a tattered wasteland. It would look like it's the North Star the entire way through, mainly because of the amount of weapons at disposal. It just would be a mess. However, Goku would still win, but again, at what cost? He might have probably died, because again, if it's like billions upon trillions of dollars going at him, then you know, who knows? But yeah. Alright guys, I'll have an outro if I did wouldn't matter because I have a video. Good night. You know, that was like pretty fun. I haven't had fun watching those in a while. It was pretty exciting. I must say it was you know, quite exhilarating to say the least. It wasn't as boring as I thought it was gonna be, mainly because those 2 episodes, so they had to cram as much as they possibly could in there, and also the fact that the first episode, second episode have a 4-year gap. And they still had some contingency regardless. That's crazy. Like, those animators must have been like really close to like say, bro, let's do this again, bro. Round 2, baby, let's go. And they just snapped. So, yeah. A song that I don't know. Enter here. Yeah.